Hmm. Iron? Need some iron. What's this? Copper. Can probably have make tools eventually. Together. Hmm. There's some animals here. They're friendly. Looks like they're friendly. Running away though. Limestone. Job in van. Equipment. Do. Exploring. There's something here. Oh, it's kind of cool. Very trippy. Red zone. Gas filter. Probably dangerous.
Warning, lethal toxic gas.
Yep.
Exit area
Toxic gas.
immediately.
Your health goes down. Bunch of pretty thing over normally one. Copper. Copper. Aluminium. That thing looks cool over there. Yeah, this game looks pretty beautiful. Get me wrong. So there's a power thing up there. What's that? Iron or something? We go around. And, off here. Take a look at this. Watchtower. Fence. Temporary outpost. Crippled platform. Interesting. Ah, there we go. You can right click and you spawn them in. Crippled platform. 1, 2, and the third. Oh, I see. 1, 2, 3. Interesting. Interesting. Fence. Have a fence to build. So we can throw the fence around. Oh, that type of fence. There we go. Temporary outpost. Let's see, where can we found this one? Let's check. It's the like the one you spawn at, right? Yeah. No? There's a door here. Kind of bugged. Is it because the way I place it? What if I put it over here? What if I spawn it here? Maybe it was not a good idea. Need some stairs here. Oh, this one works. Maybe, yeah, it's probably better on a flat ground. Probably better on a flat ground. And we have another watchtower. We can place it right here, maybe. Oh shit. Went way down. Oh, okay, so the tower also builds all the structure around him. Pretty cool. A bit hard to move around with 20 FPS. That's kind of cool. Watchtower. Probably can build stuff inside here. That's interesting. There is fall damage. Burn. There's some red stuff over here. Oh, this is a city? Oh, there's a city here. Oh, there are also other animals. Probably want to run. You chasing? Oh shit. Do not look behind. Oh, the control. Run! Bro. No. Let me in. Oh my god. I cannot build here? Oh, it built it over there. Wait, how can I open this? Doesn't look like I can go inside. Seems like the tower over here is ruined. Day Diagro? Seems like Day Diagro. Huh. Still around. Pie looks good, even on the lowest. Fuck off, bro. How can I enter? It's like you cannot enter. You need to somehow reactivate the energy, maybe. Power supply. Probably gonna get killed. Oh wait. Oh, it's coming. Rip. Jeez. Bike, healing station, power relay. I mean, we could take the hover bike, I guess. Can I not select this? Not this. Let's go back there, I guess. Not go over obstacles. 0 charge. Where did the body go? Power relay. Maybe if I put one of this. Oh, there's the dead one over there. It has no power, so filling station. Infrastructure. Mall. Mosaic bear bait. No, I need a gas extractor, power relay, capsule terminal. Okay. Healing station, light, creature repellent. Okay. Location marker. Respawn point. Oh, I need the resources. All infants. Can I not select those? No? There's... No? Storage. It seems you can put them down. I don't know why I cannot place the respawn point also. Because you need to then build them. There's ramps, platforms. Equipment. Power relay, capsule terminal, gas extractor, storage, creature repellent, filling station, light, pump point. I need to select the yellow thing. That's why. Barrier. Anti-gravity bubble. Okay. Capsule terminal. Gas extractor. Storage. Creature repellent. Healing station. Station marker. Already made one of that. So this barrack is for I see. Yep. Okay, now Brad. Okay. And there was a way to deploy your stuff.
Materialize.
Oh, materializer. It's tough. Inventory. Well, we lost our shit. Try to go back on the bike and kill them. I got so much. It's hard to control this one. Where is damn, the brain of the fuel, the energy is crazy. How fast this consumed. even if you don't use it. That's the horn, I think. Well, I need resources. Guys are still here. There we go. Around. Can I not the other hopper? The hopper? How thing works? This is. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Or should I do the... I did materialize. Huh? What? Did I press delete by mistake or what? Well. Make another power relay. So why does he not have the power? 2. Found power naked to the abandoned outpost to open the door. Found power network. How do you do this?
Scan.
Cannot collect the rubber. One is bugged here. So what are these? Scan. Not scan. Scan that. Rubber. Now I can interact. Three ropes. Fiber. Power relays are essential to power your equipment and have unrestricted access to building. While outside the power network, you cannot use build mode. Power is currently generated at your starting post. To access power across the planet, you need to expand the power network using power relays. As long as your equipment is within the power network range, it will let power be interactable. Use the workshop to invent the power relay. I already made a power relay. I already made a power relay. That's okay. Draft. That's what I don't remember. Fuck you. Doesn't work if it's dead, huh? Yeah, I don't remember. There was a way to tutorial inventing to event. Open the workshop. You okay? I need PP select. You will then need PP select the draft types and to select probably the draft types and templates you want to use. Drafts are composed of fragments which have functions and cost. Move the fragments. Build mode. Click the build tool. This opens your draft from the library. Navigate to the list and select the draft you wish to build. Build mode. materialize mantle. So it's up. So that's 2. I cannot use build mode. Yeah. Doesn't work. Try to gather some stuff, I guess. Fuck me. Map. When you look at the map, I don't think we have a map. See if I can go back. Where did I spawn? Somewhere around here, I think. In copper. Nitrogen vent. Probably don't want to destroy that. You want to gather resources. Copper and limestone. I think we have it. This one. Valid data, oil. From iron things you can find oil. That in front there is something. I think that's I think that's where he spawned. Let's see. Power relay. doesn't really show you the distance. Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing, I don't know the range. So what is the range? Come from this. There are the page. Yeah, I'm not sure. How big is the... I mean, it seems like it's getting power. Not sure the range, like you can place them though. That's the thing. Cannot grab on stuff? Climb up? Doesn't look like you can grab on edges. Let's see if I place it here. Yeah, it gets power. If I place it here. Okay, it works. Is that other one getting power also? Oh, I see. I guess I can see the range, right? Can look. Oh, I see now. This one it reaches here. This one expands here. Oh, I need to maybe do it like this. Okay, that works. Now we have power. Yes, we do. Okay. Oh, now I can build with two. Okay. We have storage. It's a bit kind of wonky, the controls. Maybe because it's on 120 FPS. Happened. I guess the spikes are working now, right? Yeah. As long as you are in the range of the power relays, you have infinite power, I guess. Spikes. That's through the thing outside, rubber. Okay, so now you can press 2. Wait, I was able to press 2. No? Now I don't see it anymore. Fuck. It doesn't have any more power? Something happened. What happened? Yeah, we lost power somehow. That thing got destroyed. I don't know how. Maybe because I pressed on this? Or I don't know what I did. Okay, so we need power to build the thing. So if I go to yeah, that thing got destroyed. Wait, what? I don't understand. Why did the relay got destroyed? What? Sorry? What happened? Draft placed. Now we go forward and materialize. Right? Totally good now. Wait, why is that thing destroying my shit? Wait, what? How is that one-shotting a fucking tower of metal? How is that this animal? What? Bro, what? You joking? Okay. Craft place. Okay. Before we do that, let's invent new thing. Creature repellent. Storage. Creature repellent. And do a light also. And I can build respawn point after. Location marker and anti-gravity bubble and barrier. And if we can, let's see if we can build one of these. Here we go. See. Okay, and now build. Let's see. A bit rough. Is this inverted? Change axis. Move. Bro, what the hell? They destroyed. What? Okay, draft place. I don't understand that. Now I don't know which one is need argon and shit. Which one is the capsule thing? Need argon. No, I destroyed it. Bro. Use materialize on already made thing. It destroys it. Fixes it. But okay. But okay, bro. I don't know what it is. Where the hell do I find argon? Need just one gas extractor, creature repender. Yeah, this one needs argon. I don't know where you get that. It's toggle free materialization. There we go. Do that. Nice. No. Wait, where's my... Bro. I swear. This is bullshit, man. You need to kneel. You need to. Okay. Go here. Hit draft. This is. I have the creature repellent, I think. things. But we can edit without the... Let's edit good draft. Yes. Where the fuck I am? Okay. Object. How you... How do you remove this? How do you delete? How do you delete this? I don't see any delete sign. Okay. Whatever. Can't see. Let do it how it is in... Okay, but... Now you go to materializer. Do all that. alpha, it's not a demo, it's just something that they made that they have around. And the game looks interesting, a lot of stuff going on. I like the idea of changing the atmosphere, the weather, the world around you and stuff. Pretty cool, pretty interesting concept, I would say. Obviously, we need to have a lot in terms of optimization and other content. You can make a, what I know, you can make a moving base in an actual car. It's a big car, monster truck, something like that. You can actually build stuff inside that and go around. Really interesting. Yeah. So far. What the hell? The hell are those? Stone giants. Yeah, it's sad because depending on what you build, you change the world and stuff. See how as soon as I make those things, it started raining, thunder and shit. Things, resources glowing. It's kind of scary. Shit. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's it for this one. This is the Gamma from game built from Gamescom 2023. Okay. I mean, it looks interesting. Hopefully they can um they can improve the optimization, make it run better and stuff. But let's see. I think that's pretty much it for today. We can play a little bit of okay, there is Odinfall that I can play before I do Once Human. Odinfall and Fumes I have. Gatewalkers. Oh, it looks like I played this one already. So Fumes and Odinfall we can test a little bit. Let's see. Uh, we already did this one. Already played this one, sorry. This switch. Let's play. Let's see what is this Odinfall. Long time ago there was order. Need to continue. The gods ruled from Asgard. Gods ruled from Asgard. The mortals lived in Midgard. Giants were banished to the Orkney realms. The gods were a varied troop, defined by different Odin, the foolish, Balder, the treacherous, Thor the forgettable, Freya the forgettable, Loki the geniusly brilliant. Mortals praise the gods for they kept giants. It was until Balder conspired with the fire giant Thor and invited his legions into Thor unleashed the Ragnarok. Pillars of fire stretching to the sky, the world cracked and burned. Many mortals perished. When the ashes had cooled, Loki bravely Balder crimes. Duel would have been epic had it not been so one-sided. Odin the fool was blind to the truth and thought Loki was the enemy. Loki was decapitated and his head was locked in a prison. Loki to all that was lost until he discovered that he was not alone in prison. Frozen in ice and covered you. Head part at least. Before God must have We have no arms. Right mouse button. Choose character. Left click. So you can only move on this, on the path, huh? Get a level, escape the future. Oh, okay, so you choose that and it's like an RPG. So you choose that. Now you can... That's your ammo up top. Weapons, weapon enemy. Base. Okay, weapons. Okay. Back to the launcher. Found the power room, collect enough, and you can activate your power by pressing. Oh, so you can die to your own explosion. Okay. You can die to your own explosion. Okay, you can switch guns. You regen HP. Rocket launcher is good. What's damage? I didn't want to do that. I don't know what this one did. So it's a 8. Oh shit. Kinda sucks you can damage yourself. Outburst Man. No. Expensive. Buzzer. Hunting rifle is more expensive. This is like a shop. Wait, I attacked this guy. Oops. So you can fight the NPCs that sell stuff? Was that an NPC? I don't know. Or- Hmm. Try again. Up here is your account. Pop gun. Axe. We can find like spots like that shop. I found okay. Bullets can ricochet, or at least these ones. Empty. Too many guys here. too many shit. Too much. That was a boss, I think, or something. Try again. Try again. I think this game is interesting. Which one can you break? You can break those? Okay. Plasma pistol is kind of nice. Well, I got stuck here. I don't see the HP on this guy's. Does this thing has a HP bar or invincible? Okay. Again. Probably good for their enemies. Probably yes, one for that big guy. Guys take the shots. Back to full HP, that's good, that's good. I need to... No! Oh my god. Maybe it needs to be added like, confirm you want to enter thing. Holy fuck. I can see this game being fun. What's this one? Crossbow. Damage 8. Mine has damage 4. More. The other one has more damage, more ammo. One revolver. I'm gonna keep the revolver, I think. The laser with double barrel laser. Better than this one. That's lower cooldown though. Does one shot with those guys. Full power for ability. Let's see where we go here. We cannot go left and right. I guess we need to. This is spot. Or we can go this one. Sun City or Golden Cave. Sun City. Let's get those. Okay, so that's the power. You destroy everything around you. Okay, I lost a bunch of health. That guy takes 2. Let's see. Yeah, the revolver is pretty good. Okay, I shall not. Should have hadn't do that. HP and see how much ammo. Yeah, it has a big cooldown. I'm gonna keep the revolver. You do not regen health while you advance to next level every fight. There goes the honey. Hunting rifle. But I kind of want to keep the B2. 32. One has cooldown 60 cooldown. A lot more damage though. No bigger range. Yeah. I don't like the revolver. I want to switch to laser. Laser has 5 times 2. need to take it a bit more slower. Yeah. Oh, the lifesteal syringe. Yeah. Oh, shit. You can actually see. Okay, let's see. Oh, there's a sniper. How does he can see? Where is the white still? Still 3. Still 3. What is the where is the life still? How do we get the life still? Oh, there we go. 4. Need to kill certain enemies. There we go. That's the life steal. Is there a percentage or something? Yeah, pretty interesting. I like it. Far looking good. Yeah, the rifle is fucking nuts. I bet you can get even crazier later on. Okay, this is kind of fun. Music is there. Music is good. Okay. Yeah, so I need to take it slower with the sniper because that's maximum you can see. Odd ice cream. You can add a bunch of stuff to your rifle. Knockback also. Oh shit, this guy was trying to spot. Oh. Fucking homing missile, man. Oh my god, I was doing really good. But the lifesteal was not working this time. I don't know, was it a percentage? I didn't even look. Is there a way to look at your mods on your guns? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool game. Pretty cool game. Skill tree, we level up. Level 2 points too. So I can choose wherever. Piggy bank. Start strong with. invite players. Invite players. Quit to main menu. Oh, yeah, pretty cool game. Really wishlisted. Okay. And let's check the other one. Fumes. Check this one. Actually, people love it. People watch it. Interesting. A lot of people play games. is this a first tutorial? What were our runs located at 20 markets to unlock the next boss fight? So I guess it's not multiplayer. I thought it was multiplayer. Yeah, that's interesting. Sure, I expected this. not multiplayer. But it's a cool concept. Auto shelter. Top rodents. All skin. And stickers. Okay. Looks interesting. Looks interesting, but yeah. Let's see. Accessibility, what brightness units, metric, screen shake, no, neutral screen effect, damage effects, throttle lock. Trigger lock. Okay, gameplay. Oops. Max, automatic. Back. Graphic. Full screen. Oh, there you go. Rifle V. Old filter. Old retro. No. Standard. Eco. Noir. Matches. Oh, let's go standard. Manual scale. Manual scale max. Manual stars. Viewing mode. Let's get graphic settings. Audio settings. Clean. Not streaming or recording. You can see the switch will default to clean. Telephone. Clean. Retro HQ. Retro HQ. Done that. What's the difference? A little bit. That's okay. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. Sensitivity. Okay. Interesting game. Interesting game. I thought it was it's already on wishlist. I thought it was multiplayer from the trailer that I saw. But yeah. I think that is